If you've been watching our channel for years now, you know that we've been warning you that the next big conflict is going to be, of course, with Iran. We even did an update video. Where will be the next conflict? A couple weeks ago, the answer was Iran. Obviously, we are seeing neoconservative, pro-war hawk voices like John Bolton trying to steer this U.S. administration and Donald Trump with war to Iran. That is very clear. And it looks like they might finally get it, as the United States just sent an aircraft carrier and a bomber task force to Iran because allegedly Iran was planning some attacks on the United States. So the United States wants to send more aircraft for possibilities of, again, the story gets even more convoluted when we're going to get into the details. But Jason, we have a clip here from CNN that I want you to introduce because there's a lot of propaganda to break down here, but a lot of new information to bring up as well.
I mean, it's masked in new information, but I smell something, Luke, and it doesn't smell good, if you know what I'm saying. I'm smelling a little bull, you know, uh-oh. And basically, I mean, I'm going to let their own words speak for themselves because I kind of fumble over them. I'm like, why exactly we're doing this? But I want to reiterate right now that this was planned all the way back in April, and we're going to get to that in a moment.
Let's begin by sort of calming any nerves out there. There is no indication that any action by Iran is imminent, but what is this about? I mean, why now?
Well, good morning, Poppy, Jim, and Nick.
Hold it there.
It was an extraordinarily unusual.
Why now? Exactly. I can't believe they actually asked a legitimate question because, again, geopolitically, the United States has been wanting to go to war with Iran since 2011. This is past April, Jason, because we know John Bolton, a part of the Bush administration, has been calling for a conflict with Iran for a very long time, for decades now. It is the key geopolitical enemy because Iran is allied with usually our geopolitical foes. So why now? Obviously, they've been trying to do this forever. This is why. And the reason and justification, we'll get into this right after this clip. But let's keep playing it.
I just want to say this. You say 2011, but again, according to Wesley Clark, it was 10 days after 9/11 in 2001.
I said 2001.
2001. I mean, come on. That's a long ways away, folks.
Statement on a Sunday night here in Washington from John Bolton, the National Security Advisor, that the aircraft carrier strike group and Air Force bombers were headed to the region. And that is, we are told, because there were clear indications that Iranian forces, Iranian proxy-backed militias were making preparations.
Iranian forces, Iranian militia. We are being told, even the CNN Pentagon pundit with the Pentagon logo embedded with CNN at the Pentagon, who literally regurgitates, brings up some important questions here. We are being told, usually when CNN tries to sell you something, they sell you it 100%. They're like, they had weapons of mass destruction. Now they're like, we're being told, being very careful here with their language, which is very telling. But look at the justification that they're using here. We're going to go into where they got this intelligence in just a little bit. But Iranian forces, possibly Iranian militia. Which one is it? Which one is it? Like what's going on here? They're trying to attack the United States. Why? Why would Iran want to provoke the country with the world's largest military budget? Why would Iran want to have a war with the United States? It would be the stupidest move for Iran to attack first in this larger, bigger geopolitical conflict that has been happening for a very long time. It absolutely makes no sense at all for this justification to be espoused the way it is, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to go on, but again, Iranian forces, Iranian proxy militia forces, and now she's even going to say possible at the end of it.
For a possible attack on U.S. forces in the region. Now, look, Iran has been a consistent threat.
Possible. Possible. It's either the Iranian forces, maybe it's the militia. Possibly they're going to do something in Oman and Saudi Arabia, in Iran and Afghanistan and Pakistan. Where? I
mean, Luke, it's possible that it could rain bird feces throughout the United States tomorrow. So let's stop feeding pigeons and start shooting them. That's what we should do. Let's send forces in on the pigeons because it's possible they can take over the country.
Going to happen? The Middle East. Oh, okay. All right. Now we got it. We got the great intelligence here. Let's play the rest of this because
You want to play the rest of this? All right. Well, we'll go with the cartoon level stuff.
The U.S. feels to its forces and to stability across the region, but they are sending this very public message. We know that this is a very widespread area. We know there are a number of ships along with the Lincoln that are making that move from the eastern.
The Middle East is a widespread area. The most intelligent. What is CNN doing? They literally, and this is the aircraft carrier groups that they're sending, the U.S. military ships that they're sending there, all throughout the Middle East. I mean, come on. This justification seems totally empty, totally without basis. I mean, come on.
Well, listen, man, they're saying that this is in quote unquote response to everything that is happening over in Israel. And right now, I mean, the Gaza tensions are crazy. Headlines in Haaretz only like 5-6 hours ago are saying next up Iran. I want to let people know the lead ship, the Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group, departs in deployment for this very same day. This is 4/8. This is a month ago. So they already planned on going to the exact region on a deployment they had scheduled. It was a scheduled deployment. Whether or not all the other ships were coming along, my guess is that this was openly scheduled, and then they kind of secretly, covertly decided, hey, we're going to have this, we schedule this, we're going to get going. And then, lo and behold, there's turmoil in the Middle East, Luke, and what happens?
Yeah, and guess where the intelligence came from? That Iranian forces, Iranian proxy militias may do something bad in the Middle East, potentially, maybe, possibly against the United States. Well, that information came from Israel, as we're getting that Israel passed the White House intelligence on possible Iran plot. I mean, everyone's saying possible, maybe. I mean, where's the exact information? This is so barren. And again, we have to understand the Israeli government and Netanyahu have been extremely hawkish, extremely aggressive against Iran. And I even said, if Netanyahu is going to get reelected, he barely got reelected. But if he's going to get reelected, the chances of war go up dramatically. As we know, Benjamin Netanyahu gave a very bizarre presentation before for national television saying that Iran is cheating on the nuclear deal right before, of course, the major decisions that were made on that by the U.S. administration. But it also came out, a lot of the information was old. And we have to understand, even Stephen Colbert came out and said, why is Israel using old information and news hyping up this Iran nuclear deal right ahead of this big decision? And many people are calling meddling in that specific situation. A lot of people are calling hooey on that situation correctly, because again, a lot of the information has been used for, of course, just primarily political, geopolitical, pro-war purposes, and not truly vetted and looked into and sourced correctly. And I believe this is the exact situation that's happening here. They needed a justification. They came with one out of nowhere, no evidence, no proof. Yeah, they're going to attack us first, so we're going to send all of our military targets there. I mean, why? It absolutely makes no sense at all that Iran somehow believes that they could win with a fight against the United States. They know that they can't. It would be suicide for Iran to believe that they could take on the United States and win and start another conflict. It would be the most stupidest, idiotic thing that a country could do. And this is the reason why countries don't attack the United States. By far, we dominate them so many times over with military financing, with our actions in the Middle East. And again, we just have to look at the basic claims here. Again, no sources, no evidence. Information is coming from Israel, which manipulated information before, rehashed old information before, for, of course, a bigger political victory. And as I've been saying for years and even weeks ago, they want a conflict with Iran. And it looks like they're trying to do everything they can to start it. Will they? Well, everything's not looking too optimistic, in my opinion. And I do believe that in the somewhat near future, there will be some kind of conflict, in my opinion. I don't want it to happen, but as you said, Jason, Iran is the last domino to fall in this bigger plan that was even laid out in 2001. And it has been mainly against neocon, pro-war voices. It's been in its sights for decades now. So it's been a long time coming, and in my professional opinion, it's going to happen. That's my take on it. What about yours, Jason?
Well, the bottom line is that John Bolton and Mike Pompeo, the mustachioed madman, they must be stopped. And this Trump administration said it was draining the swamp. No, Trump literally scuba dived into the depths of the swamp and pulled out the most egregious characters that have now overturned the only two things the Obama administration, in my opinion, did right. And that was the Iranian deal and the fact that he commuted Manning's sentence. What has he done? He got rid of the Iranian deal, and now we're sending aircraft carriers out there. Great move. Great move. And let's put Manning in solitary confinement. The cherry on top, let's also extradite Assange on top of it. This is just the best administration ever. And you're not hearing about this at all. When we talk about the last domino to fall, look, Wesley Clark said 10 days after 9/11, they wanted to go into 7 different countries. Let me name some of them for you. Syria, one of the last dominoes to fall. Libya, took that one down, baby. Somalia, Sudan, in those nations. AFRICOM is a real deal thing. And what's the cherry on top there? It's Iran. And these bastards want to go in there extremely badly. And right now, with all the turmoil going on in Gaza, right now is their opportunity to, they're saying, again, Luke, that Iranian forces or Iranian militia forces possibly could attack U.S. troops in the region. I see no evidence of that. And right now, this is the target. I could see it under this administration. It makes me kind of sick.
Yeah, I would just have to disagree with you on a personal a difference. I do believe that the Iran nuclear deal was good in some instances and bad in some instances, but that's just my personal point of view. You have yours, and we're not going to debate that or argue on that. But the situation is severe. The situation is very transparent to what it is. They want war. They want conflict. The U.S. spends more on military than any other country in the world. It has built a world situation where they see literally every problem as a nail because the United States representatively and its military is the hammer. And sadly, this is not the way that I personally would want things dealt with. Again, this has been a long time coming. Sadly, I do believe there will be an escalation. That's my personal point of view. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Jason, if you have anything else to say, feel free to cut me off. But if you don't, I just want to kind of thank everyone for supporting, donating, sharing, voting with your dollars and your clicks and your shares, keeping us alive as the independent media. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org.